obliterated. So, Maura, I'm going to ask you, does it concern you that there may still be a potential for the United States to get further involved, or do you think this is where it stops?
My concern is the lack of transparency. I think that for so many in the MAGA space, they demanded transparency, and Trump did too. I mean, when he was candidate Trump, he was constantly calling for more transparency. And yet we deserve to know, we the people deserve to know why the President of the United States violated the Constitution, international law, and the UN Charter in doing this. Listen, no one is crying for the nuclear regime, the Iranian regime. No one's crying for them as opposed to they're losing any amount of their nuclear, stronghold there. But what we do have concerns with is the repercussions that's going to impact generations. So I am concerned about the lack of an answer and a reasoning justification for this attack.
And Maria, let me bring you in on that because, to this point, we've seen some criticism, including from Democratic members of Congress, that haven't gotten some criticism, but haven't gotten a full briefing on what actually happened here. Does that concern you? What needs to change on that front?
Oh, absolutely, Omar. The fact that the administration, first of all, did not even brief the Democratic members of the Gang of Eight before they went in, that they only chose to brief the Republican members of Congress is egregious enough. But now to refuse to brief them, to postpone the briefing after the fact, is completely unacceptable, Omar. This kind of aggressive act of war should be something, and, the Constitution spells it out very clearly, needs to come from members of Congress supporting that kind of aggressive act of war. And so now it absolutely screams for a briefing as soon as possible. What is the administration afraid of, Omar? Are they afraid that in fact, the intelligence and the information is going to show that not a whole lot was done, that in fact it only pushed back Iran's nuclear program months? Is it going to show that perhaps Trump was way too quick to pull the trigger on this and that there really wasn't the necessity for this here in terms of an imminent acquiring of a nuclear weapon on behalf of Iran? If we listen to Israel before these bombings, they said that their attacks pushed back Iran's ability to acquire a nuclear weapon by years. So there are so many questions here, Omar. And then to your point about what you mentioned, is Trump going to decide to go in again, very shortly, because he's going to understand that this actually wasn't the obliteration that he says it is. So
I didn't think
absolutely Congress needs to be briefed, and now.
Well, I didn't think I would get you both to agree with each other on transparency so quickly. We're doing so well. I want to ask you, Maura, because Republican Congressman from Kentucky, Thomas Massie, he recently sponsored a resolution to rein in the executive power to go to war. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere at this point. But do you think Congress should have had more of a say here?
I think that Congress should have been briefed. And so I will agree with Maria. I do think that Congress, both sides of the aisle, should have been briefed. But again, I think that the president, when he spoke that night, let's also remember he was out playing golf Saturday at Bedminster at his course, and then hours later ordered this attack, this strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. And then his address to the nation really didn't explain very much. We didn't get an understanding of what was happening. So I do think that the biggest issue here is the justification for it, because we will feel this for generations to come. The fallout from this, unfortunately, it will go to our proxies first, our men and women in military, there first, but we will certainly feel this impact. And so we need to know why. And I do worry that it was just an ego-driven trip. And listen, I think that across the board, Republicans and Democrats alike should be okay to say that. Republicans especially need to be okay to say, listen, if this is just about your ego and you wanting to win some sort of Nobel Peace Prize or to do something that Netanyahu told you presidents before you had failed to do, so this is your chance, go and do it. Just say that. Be honest with us and then call him out for it. It's okay to disagree with the president of the United States. It doesn't make you any less Republican. We have to get away from this personality politics, identity politics, and assuming that one person is going to dictate our entire political system. We can't operate like that. We need to stand for our principles, our values, and our moral compass.
Maura Gillespie, Maria Cardona, I have to leave it there. Really